This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by Potholes, so we can appreciate good roads. It's Thursday, March 30th, 2023. I'm Aaron, and that's Chris.
Hello.
And we'd like to welcome you back to Another Great Day, the podcast designed to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation. Chris, did you like how I didn't describe you as any sort of pothole or road improvement device in that intro?
Here's Chris, and he's a hole in the ground. That's it.
Speaking of people who are holy, here's my co-host, Chris. That's the best I could do.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's nice.
That's actually a compliment. Congratulations! You're our 3,000th listen. That's actually true. Our podcast has been heard 2,999 times before you. And your special prize is this show. Let's move along. All right, well, now it's time for We'll Discuss. That's right, you made up the topics, and we have to discuss them. Let's get that wheel a-spinning. You ready, Chris? Spin the wheel.
Here we go. We're spinning the wheel.
And today's topic is...
The Count Tells You the Weather.
You can never count on this weather forecast.
So, you, Aaron, get to say the weather as The Count.
Challenge accepted. Let's go. All right, so we're going to pretend like we're in a studio doing an actual news broadcast, and Chris is going to be the anchor, sending it over to me, the Count Weatherman.
And they lost by 7 points. Over to you, Weatherman, the Count.
Thank you, Chris. It's so nice to be here. Well, today the weather was wonderful and cloudy, but tomorrow the weather will also be wonderful and cloudy. You might notice a trend in my forecasts because it helps us bats fly around.
And that'll bring us to this day in history.
All right. Well, hey, Chris, I got a question for you. Have you ever purchased something?
I've purchased something before in my life.
Nice. Well, have you ever purchased anything really big?
I have been a part of purchasing a house, so that's the biggest thing.
And that'll do it for this day in history. No, I'm just kidding. No, I bet you've never purchased anything as big as, I don't know, the state of Alaska.
Alaska?
Yeah, that's right. Dear listeners, on this day in 1867, Alaska was purchased from Russia. How many $bucks do you think it cost, Chris? Give us a guess.
$7.
$7? Good guess, but multiply it times 1 million. The answer is $7 million. That's right. The United States purchased Alaska from Russia for the meager price of $7 million bucks, or roughly 2 cents per acre.
2 cents per acre.
Chris, did they have a funny name for this purchase?
They did. It was called Seward's Folly.
That's 100% right. Well, welcome home, Alaska. We're glad you're here.
This next segment we call the Question of the Day.
That's right. Well, if you're new to this, we're going to ask a question and encourage you to take a minute to answer this question, discuss it with others. And if you need more time, pause the show and we'll be right back. So here's today's question. If you have $7 million, what would you buy? All right, if I had $7 million, I would buy Six Flags Over Texas, assuming they'd sell it to me for that. We'd have to do some negotiating. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't sell it to me for that. But Six Flags Over Texas is an amusement park located in Arlington. I think it'd be fun to own, a zoo or an amusement park. And I could invite all my friends there, and I could control the music, most importantly. And I would lower the prices of all the hot dogs because they shouldn't cost $5. What about you, Chris?
The first thing that came to my mind makes no sense. This is not in line with my values in my heart. I would buy everybody I could see a puppy.
Well,
I don't really care about puppies. They're fine. I know this is not great news, but I think other people like them, and I can see that people value them. I also would furnish these people's puppies with houses, small dog mansions. Because I would have $7 million. Why not?
Like a tiny house?
Yeah, and like group training. We'd make a whole community of people who are just hanging out with dogs, doing happy times with dogs. getting well-trained dogs that aren't barking.
This actually sounds amazing. We could actually have a small development dedicated to your money where we have everybody who lives here gets a puppy and a small dog house, and it's an entire community built around that concept. We call it Dogville. It'd be wonderful.
Dogville.
I'd move there.
I love it.
All right. Well, great talk
I would
today.
visit you there sometimes.
We'll see you at Dogville. We'll send you a postcard. Well, let's go ahead and move on and check in with our field correspondent for the day. Wes, we just noticed you were vacuuming your phone. Don't do that. By the way, we also noticed you're filming from a submarine. What can you see?
La la la. Oh, hey, Aaron and Chris. A circular window that you can only partway see through. So when you look at it, you see yourself and outside. But hey, I'm at the scene of a crazy accident. There was a shark attack and the shark took out his entire left side. But good news, he's all right. Have another great day.
Sounds like there wasn't much left of him.
At least the shark finished what he started.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to another great day. I'm Aaron and that's Chris, and we're glad you're here. This part of our show is called The Word of Wisdom. This is where we'll take a minute to go through a proverb or wise saying and give you our take. Here we go.
Today's word of wisdom comes to us from Proverbs 21:9. The NLT version of the Bible says, "It's better to live alone in the corner of an attic than with a quarrelsome wife in a lovely home." The Amplified Bible says, "It's better to live in the corner of a housetop, on the flat roof, exposed to the weather, than in a house shared with a quarrelsome, contentious woman."
Well, a little marriage advice from King Solomon, eh? All right, well, here we go. Have you ever helped your mom or dad put up Christmas lights on your house? If so, you know what it's like to be on or near the roof. Now let's think about this, all right? This is a question, actually. Is it easy to be around people who only want to fight and argue, or is it difficult? Well, this proverb is advising husbands and wives to live in peace with each other, because living with someone who is constantly trying to start a fight with you is exhausting and frustrating. Maybe you have a brother or a sister who you feel like is always picking on you, or maybe you're picking on your brother or your sister all the time. It's exhausting and it's frustrating. Well, King Solomon says you'd be better off camping out on the roof, even during a rainstorm. Yikes! This proverb would say, let's live in peace with one another. Chris, let's cue the music and wrap things up. Our mission's here to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
So even though today's show may have come to an end, that does not mean your discussions have to come to an end.
Well, whatever you discuss, whatever you do, we hope you make it another
Great
day.
For the listening audience, we are not recording in the same normal locations. We are out
We're out and about.
at a restaurant.
That's right. It's wonderful to be here. We're at a long table. There's a gigantic mounted animal behind us that's really cool looking.
Lots of machinery and noises.
Yeah. And also, Chris, I'm still waiting to hear that song that you're going to sing with the barnyard animals.
Cows. Dog.
But the weather will be 51 degrees. 51. Back to you, Chris.
Well, and we're going to go on to the politics. No, no way.
I have a better idea. How about this day in history? What do you say?
They finished. At least they finished. Oh, at least the shark finished what he started.
The end.